Hi kids, happy spring. It's officially spring 2014. Something that if you spent the winter 2013-2014 winter in Minnesota, you number one can't believe it's finally here, and two are very effing grateful it's finally here. So you can't really see it, but the window is open, and the window hasn't been open on the videos here since October, when I did some of my October horror movie solo reviews. So I'm very excited to be back in spring. I can't tell you that when you're in Minnesota how rejuvenating and energizing spring is, especially after a horrible winter. To get back out there in that sun, that vitamin D, that the sun, the power of the sun and the energy providing sun is absolutely fantastic. So basically yesterday I saw Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and that's the first time I was actually in the theater since October when I saw Gravity. That was the last movie I saw in the theater. And I just wanted to make a quick video about this because I wanted to get this off my chest. I wanted to rant and bitch about this, and I didn't want to do this in the Captain America review, which will be uploaded after this one, because I think that I just decided I'm going to just bitch so much about it that I better just make it its own video so the Captain America enthusiasts don't have to sit through this. So you can just sit through it if you choose to sit through it. So basically I frequent this theater that has this corporate theater, which as far as I know opened in 2001, because I remember seeing, I think the first movie I saw there may have been Jurassic Park 3, and I remember seeing the famous, now infamous, Spider-Man teaser with the helicopter that was webbed up between the two World Trade Towers. So I'm pretty sure this corporate theater opened up in my neck of the woods in 2001, and I've been going there ever since, and so I guess in January they did these renovations, which I wish I would have had a video recording of my actual real-time reaction, because I couldn't believe it. So, up until then it had been one of your normal kind of corporate stadium seating theaters, and I love, one thing I do like about these corporate theaters is the stadium seating. That's very much appreciated, having grown up in one that, you're like this, and hopefully no one sits in front of you, kind of a thing. And the chairs were comfortable because they came up and you could lean your head back. Because last spring I went to this one independent theater, as you might know, to watch. I saw like Oblivion, and you could see a first run movie for $4 there. Now it's $5. So I saw Oblivion and Great Gatsby. I don't know if I saw anything else there. That might have been it at this independently owned first run theater in my neck of the woods. And that's an old theater where it doesn't have stadium seating, and the seats just go up to your, they don't go all the way up here, so you can't rest your head back. And I found it getting on in years now, very fatiguing not being able to just lean my head back. I just gotten so used to that you take it for granted. So, that's one thing of the corporate theaters that I like, is the stadium seating, and also the seating that supports your head. So that was all fine and dandy, and it was that way for, 12 years or whatever, 13 years. And so apparently they did these renovations in January or something. So I go in to the theater and I had seen on their website this thing about, these recliner chairs, and in my mind I thought that it was just like they were just, I don't know why I thought in my mind that the recliner, super seating, comfy, stupid chairs were just like a few of them per theater, and you could reserve, because I know on the website it said you can reserve seats, and I remember thinking, how the hell do they work that? Because I mean, for my entire life, pretty much if you want to get a good seat, you go early, and you're guaranteed the seat you want, basically. And that's what I did last night, because on Tuesday this particular theater has $5 showings, and So I'm like, and it's all day. Normally after a 5 or something like that, the ticket prices go up. So it's like such a beautiful day yesterday. I didn't want to waste a day in the theater. And I'm like, well, since it's $5 all day, I'll go to the theater. I'll see it at night. So I saw it at 7:15, and I'm like, well, I'll go early so I can get a good seat, right? So I go, and I walk in there, and she's like, I'm like, you got any more, Captain America for 7:15? And she's like, yeah, here. And then a screen comes up in front of me, and like, these are the seats that are available. And it's like, I'm like probably 15 or 20 minutes early, and there's like barely any seats left. On her little screen, I'm like, the green is the seats that are available, and like, everything else is already bought, presumably online, maybe last summer. I don't know how early you can reserve your goddamn seat. I'm gonna swear because this pisses me off. Goddamn seats. So I'm like dumbfounded. I'm like, okay, this is a brand new blockbuster movie, so they have a 7:15 and 7:30. I'm like, what do you got for 7:30? Pulls up the little floor chart of each frickin' seat, right? Which ones are available? The green. And I think there was like an orange, and I don't know what the hell the orange was. Maybe that's pending. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, there's one all the way in the back, and I'm like, I usually sit not front, but I mean center, like basically in the middle of the theater, halfway from the front, halfway from the back, and right in the middle, right? So I don't want to sit right in back, although it would have been fine, but whatever. So I'm like, okay, what do you got? Because they got, 7:15, 7:30, and 7:45. What do you got for 7:45? Pulls up the little float, the floor chart. All right, here. And I'm like, by now I know, okay, I better look for the green seats, And then I'm like, how do I even find the seat, not having been in there yet? And she's like, oh, there's people in there. I can't remember what she called them. There should be people in there, like seaters, because now we hire, your profession can be a seater at the corporate theater. This is where your seat is. So I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like, this is, by now it's like, I don't know, longer than it normally takes to buy a ticket, and it's, a $5 Tuesday, and there's other people waiting. So I'm like, all right, what do you got? What do you got? Well, show me 7:15 again. And I'm like, and so it brings up the floor plan, and I swear that there was different availability when she brought up the 7:15 the second time than the first time. So there's this seat that wasn't all the way in the back. It was kind of, mid from the front and back, but off to the side. I'm like, okay, give me that. That's how pretty much I said it. Give me that one. And I asked her, I'm like, do people like this? And I guess if you want to frickin' be an idiot, I suppose if you frickin' are the kind of person, and don't take offense to this if you are, but personally I'm not. I've been going to movies this way my entire life, where you go early if you want to pick your seat. And this whole notion of online buying your tickets and also picking your seat on the online theater floor plan, I think is a little flipping much. I think it's a little much to me. And that might just be, the old-fashioned me, which, but I just think it's overkill, right? So where was I? I was bitching. So yeah, I'm like, okay, just give me that. And, oh yeah, I asked her, that's where I was. And do people like this? And I can't remember what she said. Yeah, because I'm sure the people who buy their tickets a month ago for the exact, center, perfect seating, love it. But if there's wind, I apologize, can't help it. It's ironic that it's like the first, if there is wind, it's the first indoor review where there's wind, so that's kind of cool. That's not cool, it's just interesting. So I gotta let the April 9th warmth, it's supposed to be 70 today. I don't know if it's gonna hit 70, maybe high 60s for sure. I gotta let that spring air blow in. So I went ahead and I did the 7:15 show and got the ticket, and I'm like, okay. She's like, enjoy the show, and I just walk off. I don't say a word. I'm so pissed at this point. I hand the ticket to the guy, and he's like, oh, the blah 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 to your right. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, trying to process, not being expecting any of this. On my way to the actual theater, I'm trying to process how the hell am I gonna, you know, find find the seat. All this anxiety bullshit. So I'm walking, you know, and it's like this beads of sweat, or not literally, but I mean, you know, almost coming down. The pleasant corporate stressful movie going experience. Or you know, I'm walking to the theater, the heart rate's up. So I go in, and so then to my amazement, you know, every single seat, because like I said, when they did this like lazy boy super comfort chair, comfy chair stuff on the website, for some reason in my mind it was like just like 4 seats are comfies, and it's like 2 on this side and 2 on the other. And those are the only seats that you can reserve. I didn't understand it, how it works. So I walk in the theater, and then to my amazement, every single chair is one of the lazy boy comfy ass lounger, you know, reclining movie theater tables or seats. So there's a reason I call them tables, and I'll get to that in a second. This is why I'm doing this separate and not in the Captain America review, because I don't know how much long this review is, or this video is now. It is a review of the theater. So I get in there and I'm like, oh, okay, and I instantly look, because I'm like, it's like I'm boarding a plane, you know. I look at the ticket and it says like I'm pretty sure it was like E19 or E16, and I'm like, oh, okay, well I'm in a panic, so I can't do the alphabet. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm all the way up to like G. So I go down a couple and I'm like, there's E. I look at the numbers. So I mean, it was easy to find the flipping seat, right? Oh boy. So by this time, you know, I'm early, so I walk into the theater and there's like barely anyone in there, right? So you can understand my my frustration having all the seats practically been sold out up at the counter, but you walk in there and barely anyone's in there, which means, of course, everyone's buying their tickets on their little cell phone, which is I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting. The age of first come first serve is slowly dwindling, and now the people who have a smartphone, well, you can do it on, you know, internet or tablet or whatever, but you know, are going to be the advantaged ones, which of course, you know, makes people they want to try to get people to buy tickets online so they can collect their fees for buying tickets online, you know. So they want to make reasons why you should do it. Pretty soon you won't even be able to see a movie unless you buy a ticket online. That's the way they're going to eventually get the rest of it. And then in that case, I ain't even going to go to the fucking, theater, if that's the case. I practically almost don't want to go back as it is. So I find my flippin' lazy boy recliner movie seat, right? And I'm absolutely repulsed to see that every flippin' seat has a, oh, I don't know how to describe it. You know those, I don't know what the hell a chair looks like in college or high school now, but those chairs that you sit down and they have like a, you know, they have a table that comes out. So every single one of these seats, and there are pictures or video right here that I'm probably going to show during it. These are the seats I sat in, but in these pictures and or video, whatever I am uploading, whatever I'm adding to this video as I describe them, they don't have, and I'm really pissed off, they don't have these pathetic ass swivel tables that basically are just sticking out, and if you choose so, you can swivel it into position so you can have your whatever, your pop and your freaking nachos with the cheese crap. I mean, I don't get anything when I go to the theater because, you know, I mean, you only have so much money and you don't want to waste it on that crap. And plus, I don't need to eat, and you know, I just came to watch the stupid movie. So I don't buy food anyway. So I just thought it was really pathetic. And then I happened to sit down next to this woman who was kind of like, I think she has already reclined a little bit, you know, and I think she had a little bit of a, you know, a belly and a gut and stuff. And the Wall-E, you know, them fat people in them chairs came to mind instantly. So, and it's so close. I mean, we're gradually, slowly going towards Wall-E, right? And I'm more so in a bit. Let me tell you why. So here this woman's recline back with her frickin' swivel in her comfortable lazy boy movie theater chair, and with her little chair, movie theater comfortable chair table, conveniently positioned with, I'm sure she had like nachos or something on it, she's like, and I'm just like, oh man, this is, America just deteriorating, right? Just deteriorating. And at this point, it's one barrage of disappointment after another. It's like, bam, reserved seating, bam, comfort chairs, bam, swivel things, right? So it doesn't end here. You think the movie starts and that's all I have to deal with. No, it doesn't end here, right? So get this. I'm sitting there, I can't believe that I'm sitting in this lazy boy recliner chair. I didn't recline it, by the way. I refused to. I spent my whole life going to theaters without putting my feet up. I refuse to even try it. But it's electric. You press a button and the frickin'... You can't see my feet, but there they are. You can, and then I think it kind of reclines back. So I refuse to do it because I've watched movies sitting upright my entire life, and I'm not going to stop now. So it doesn't end there. I'm going to try to cut this short, and then I suppose it's too late for that. But let me just regroup. Okay, so I sit there for a few minutes and get this. You ready? This is, to me, now let's face it. To be fair, the comfy chair really isn't that much of a negative. I did find the seat to be less comfortable than their old seats, I must admit, because these are like some makeshift leather or whatever. The other ones were cloth, and they're more agreeable. What's ironic and kind of pathetic is I think these seats are a little wider. Yeah, Wally, a little wider than the other ones were, which I think is kind of lame. And they even have these sets of two together with the thing, like in the back seat of some cars, this arm thing will come down in the center. So there's this sets of two chairs where you can put the arm rest in between up, and they even have this promo video before the movie starts because they show every ad you can think of, and even ads for the goddamn theater itself. And they show like couples putting the arm up and like going like this, and it's just like, what? You're in public, and it's like you're gonna recline with your your lover. It's just like, what's going on here? Where's the condom? Where, the complimentary condom? Just give them a few months. But this is where I'm getting at. But first I have to say this. So I'm sitting there for a few minutes, absolutely appalled by this whole experience, and thinking that this very well may be my last movie theater going experience of my life. Until this girl, I see this girl walk around, and she's walking up front, the seats up front, and she's like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, blah, 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 going next to person, blah, 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 and I don't know what she's saying, right? And then she comes up to me, and she's like, or as she's talking to the people, I'm getting more and more of what she's saying, and I'm realizing she's saying, are you a member of our rewards program or whatever? And I'm good. I hate corporate America, corporate anything for that matter, corporate world. I think the corporations are systematically killing us. They're killing the middle class. They're killing lower class. They're just killing everyone except the people who own these corporations. Corporations, multinational corporations, are going to be the death of the world, basically, except for the people who own them. Corporations are the worst thing in the universe, one of the worst things. So I can't stand corporate mentality and this harassment, which I characterize as harassment, these people. So now there's a girl coming person to person, pimping out the goddamn free rewards club card, whatever. And she comes up to me, and by then I'm already pissed because I know what she's going to say. And she's like, do you have our rewards? I'm like, I don't even look at her. I'm like, I don't need it. Again, that's probably how I said it. Call me an asshole. But by this time I'm so pissed off that I'm living in this world that turned a movie theater experience into this. So that's pretty much as bad as it got. Actually, not yet, because she went around and she's like, have a nice day. Next person. Have you signed up for the? Have you signed up for the? And then, like, I swear, 90 seconds later, a guy comes into the theater and asks the people who the girl just asked, the first people in front of me that I saw. And I'm like, if this guy asks me what this girl asked me 90 seconds ago, I'm going to put him down. That's what I was thinking. At that point, I was so pissed off. I don't know if it was probably my body language. Luckily, he didn't ask me. If he had asked me, I probably would have bolted out the door screaming bloody murder. But luckily, he didn't ask me. So you have a couple employees going around to every person in the theater as they're waiting for the movie to start, pipping out their, and I was kind of disgusted that most of these people weren't even pissed off like I was, you know, sheep, you know, whatever. And then they're like, oh, can I sign? Yes, I got a card. Can I activate you right now? Or can I sign you up right now? And it's just like, I think it's, you know, if you guys think I'm overdoing it, that's your right, okay? Personally, I think it's pathetic, and that's my right. So, live and let live, or there. So, in closing, this is Nate's first 2014 corporate movie theater experience. Oh, okay, and the last pathetic topic of the whole experience, to cap it off, before I end, is, you can imagine how disgusted I am at this point. All the commercials are done. Actually, I can't say they're done because this is a commercial. After the commercials, like for other stupid products, you know, we have interspersed is the commercial for the actual theater chain themselves, and it's like, oh, they have an ad for coming soon. And this I went like this when it was happening, because I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was one thing after another. You know, truth really is stranger than fiction. I don't know if you can hear me. There's a plane. It's lovely. Great. I apologize for the length of this video. If you're still watching, thank you very much. So to cap it all off, there's an ad that came up that said, coming soon. I can't remember exactly what they call it. Movie theater dining. Order, you know, so now they're going to, before the movie starts, they're going to have people waiters, going around to every person, kind of like these other people who are, you know, after the people come around to plug the goddamn card and hope to sign you up for a rewards card, then the waiter will follow and ask every goddamn person what they want to order, and then they will bring the food made of the finest, this is a quote right here, the finest quality ingredients, which is, I love that description, the food made from the finest quality ingredients right to your chair. So they'll bring it to you, you know, and then the ordering is, luckily, I think, cut off when the movie starts. I don't think they allow any ordering after the movie starts, which at least they do. At least they don't have, you know, ordering the whole time. Can you imagine? So in a few months, or in a few weeks, I don't know. They're probably going to get this all ready to go for the summer movie season. But you'll be able, when I go to this theater, if I do ever again, I will be witness to people ordering dinner in their movie chair and having their dinner brought to them, and they'll have their table swiveled in so they can put their dinner on their swiveling lazy boy reclining movie theater. So if anyone else has actually made it this far and watched all this, please comment below and let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you think the corporatization of America's movie theaters, do you think this is getting to be a little much, or do you think, oh boy, I've always hated going early and to get a good seat, and now I can get the perfect seat and get there just 30 seconds before the movie starts? So let me know which, you know, because I guess none of us are right or wrong. It's all boils down to, you know, individual preference. Let me know where you sit, I guess, to use a goofy appropriate word or appropriate phrase, on this issue. Do you like the corporate, Nazi, overdone movie theater system? Or would you just rather have it be the old days, you know, basically, if you want a good seat, go early? I apologize for the length of this video, but it's something I had to get out ever since 7:15 last night. So thank you very much if you watched this whole thing. For doing so, I appreciate it, and if I could pay you for it, I would, but I can't. So thanks for watching.